Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Siti Aishah binti fanatic and also my fellow classmates. Today my group gonna present about self-esteem among adolescents. So starting with me, Syamimi, together with Dale, Fatin, Rizal and also Ummie. So the first part, which is introduction, will be presented by Liza.
Thank you, Syamimi. So I will proceed with introduction. Self-esteem would best be defined as a person's subjective measure of his or her worthiness as a human. It can also be considered as their negative or positive attitude toward themselves. There are two levels of self-esteem, which is high self-esteem and low self-esteem. A high level of self-esteem is important because it allows the people to keep their head up high and be proud of who they are and what they can achieve. It would give them the ability to try new things and to develop more trust in themselves. While on the other hand, low level of self-esteem is considered as having a bad overall impression of oneself, poorly evaluating or judging oneself, and attributing a negative value on oneself as a person. So this intervention module will focusing on adolescent self-esteem associated with the use of social media. So we move to the objective of the program. We come out with 4 objectives for this intervention program. The first objective is to give an overview on the contribution factor to low self-esteem while using social media. The second objective is to acknowledge the audience uniqueness and characteristic. The third objective is to measure the differences in adolescent level of adaptability on social media and in real life. The last one is to provide useful information in improving their coping skill towards low self-esteem. So our target audience would be the adolescent with the age of 13 to 17 years old who always engage in social media. It is reported that adolescents in Malaysia was heavy user of social media. There is also some research reporting that individual self-esteem decline as their use of social media increase. So that would be the reason why we choose this population as target audience. For the duration, it is a day intervention program which would be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So that's all from me. We proceed to the tool use, which will be presented by Dali.
Thank you, Lisa. Hello, everyone. My name is Dalir, and I will be the presenter for the next few minutes. So right now, we are moving on to the tools of the program. And here, the participants will take a pre-test to determine their level of self-esteem before beginning the course. This is critical for gathering data from participants and tracking their development once the program has begun. So following that, the same instrument will be utilized in the module to assess the course's final stage. This is to assess if each person has progressed and changed as a result of training. The Rosenberg Self-Esteem Scale is the pretest that will be used. So the Rosenberg Self-Esteem Scale comprises 10 items that evaluate both positive and negative elements of self-esteem or self-worth on a global scale. Some items such as 2, 5, 6, 8, and 9 are thought to be on the opposite scale. This measure is one-dimensional, which with 4 Likert scales. So 1 is strong disagree, 2 is disagree, 3 is agree, and 4 highly agree. But in the reverse scale items, 4 indicates strong disagreement, 3 indicates disagreement, 2 indicates agreement, and 1 indicates strong agreement. So using the scoring manual given, all values will be added up and measured. A score of 26 to 30 indicates a high degree of self-esteem, whilst a score of from 16 to 25 indicates a moderate level, but a score of 0 to 15 indicates a poor level of self-esteem. So thank you, that's all from me, and we're moving on to the tentative program, which will be presented by my fellow teammate Rizal.
Thanks Dali for the explanation about tool, and I, Muhammad Rizal bin Ridwan, will be presenting about the tentative. So, the course will be held by using online platform which is WebEx or Zoom, and the course will be start as early at 9 a.m. where we will give time to all the participants to register and take this time for them to breakfast or prepare themselves to participating in this course. From 9 a.m. until 10 a.m., the participant will be undergo the pre-test. Like what Dali mentioned it before, we will using Rosenberg self-esteem scales. See what the level of self-esteem that the participant have before they joining the class. And then at 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. Is that the participant will gonna join the motivational talk, self-esteem too low or just right. They will having a lecture by Ayman Azlan. You know Ayman Azlan, right? So after this, they will undergo a group activity. In this slot, the participant will do a self-introduction session in each of their respective group, and they will be discussed about the current issue that related to the media platform and how they promote themselves by using social media. We will give 1 hour, which is from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. for our participant to rest, like having lunch and Zuhur prayer. After that, from 2 p.m. until 3:30 p.m., they're gonna be sit for the next slot, which is the participant will undergo an individual presentation. In this slot, they're gonna be moved to other group at random through a breakout session. They will be present themselves in that group to further highlight their potential and increase their self-esteem. Next is that they have to do another test. We gonna be using the same instrument, which is the Rosenberg self-esteem scales. And lastly is the last slot, which is the closing ceremony that will be held with the inauguration of chair of the School of Human Resource Development and Psychology, which is Professor Madya Dr. Siti Aishah binti Panati. The ceremony will be closed by concluding all the activity that carry out and give the reason and the benefit of each lot that has been implemented, and the program is over. So that's all from me, and I will be passed to the next presenter, which is intervention, which is Ummie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Riza. Then I will be explaining about the first intervention, which is motivational talk, self-esteem check to low or just right. This talk will be given by Ayman Azlan, an international motivational speaker with 8 years of youth engagement experience. The speaker will use slide and video to deliver the talk, and there will be a question and answer session for participant and speaker to have two-way communication. This talk will introduce participants the definition of self-esteem in order to give awareness regarding the importance of self-esteem, especially among teenagers who use social media. Furthermore, participants will expose to the contributing factor to the low self-esteem while using social media. This because participants may not know the factor that made their self-esteem drop. And last but not least, speaker will suggest tips to deal with self-esteem in order for participants to have awareness on how to get out from low self-esteem. Participants can recognize the effective way to boost their self-esteem. And we move on to the next intervention, which is group activity by Fatin.
Okay, thank you, Ummie. And I will present the next intervention, which is the group activity. So in this group activity, participants will be assigned into 5 groups of people with the mixture of gender, races, and religion. So there will be 3 things that are supposed to be achieved, which is the first one, provide platform for the participants to empower themselves. So in this activity, the participants will be given a chance to talk about their strengths and aim to empower themselves, and also in hope to inspire others. So the talk doesn't have to be informal, but depends on their creativity with relaxing mode. So next, the group activity is supposed to provide the sense of cooperation and trust within the group. So in this activity, the participants is going to have an activity that kind of like exploration that require the cooperation between all members. So lastly, this group activity is aimed to encourage the discussion related to adaptability in social media and real life. So this session will provide some new idea on how different coping style and strategies provide different outcomes that eventually each group member will finally figure out the most suitable alternative that suit them well. So the next intervention will be presented by Mimi.
Thank you, Fatin. I'll present about the third activity, which is the individual presentation. So the purpose of the activity is to give understanding about oneself uniqueness and characteristic. This is because during in this activity, the participant will be able to find not only their own uniqueness, but others too. During the individual presentation activity, it requires each of the participants to move into a random group that is assigned for them, which consists of 6 people in total of 5 groups, where it is to encourage the participant to present themselves in front of other strangers. And once all the participants are already in the new group, they have to take turns to present about their uniqueness and characteristic. This is to help the participant to exhibit a feelings of embarrassing any flaws that they have. This is which is the second purpose of the activity. Because that we believe that the activity will also help the participant to boost their self-awareness, because we know that self-awareness is incomplete without self-esteem, and it's really crucial in the development of a teenager, since it is a link to a mental health. So during the presentation, the participants are able to overcome their levels of self-esteem as they have the opportunity to practice what they have learned at the first and second activity. Thus, it is aligned with the objective of the activity, which is to acknowledge ways to improve one's self-confidence. And also, the participants are able to discover about their flaws, which the concept of an imaginary audience refers to the belief that others are continually monitoring and assessing one's actions. So, this activity will be a platform for the participant to develop or increase their self-awareness, where every one of them will have a chance to do so. So, an individual presentation activity is the core activity, as the program is emphasizing the importance of self-esteem. Because that we believe that people with poor self-esteem are less confident in their talents and may have doubts about their decision-making ability. So that is for the third activity. So we'll move to the conclusion that will be presented by Rizal. Assalamualaikum everyone. So my name is Syamimi, and I'm your facilitator for this activity, which is the last one, which you know what you have to do, which is the individual presentations. So all you need to do is just share about your uniqueness, your strength, and also how you cope with your low self-esteem. And it can be your own experience or depends on what you have learned from the first and second activity. So let's start from Ummie Aishah.
Hello everyone, my name is Ummie Aishah. I think my uniqueness is I am an easygoing person. I am a friendly person, but then I always insecure about myself. So to deal with my low self-esteem, which is insecure, I think I need to appreciate more about myself and be grateful with all the things that I have, because not all people in this world have what I have. Yeah, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Noor Haliza. My uniqueness would be, and how I cope with my low self-esteem is by. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, thank you everyone for today.
As a conclusion, we believe that this intervention program would be beneficial for the adolescent to know themselves better and would indicate their level of self-esteem, which link with their assertive use of social media. We hope that the organizer managed to achieve the objective program through the activities that have been proposed. So I think that's all from us. Thank you.